All right, hello everybody, and welcome back to USA States Cup round of 16. We have got an absolute banger of a matchup today: Ohio versus Iowa. These are two very, very strong teams. Both of them made their last matches look easy, honestly. I am iFlame, joined by absolutely no one. We've got some solo commentary for you guys today. Should be a good one, though. We can talk about the two teams for a second while we wait for them both to get into the lobbies. On the side of Ohio, we have a few very, very familiar names: Airyu, Kablaze, Topoi, Wonderland, Taro, and Usha, of course. Topoi actually having a very strong performance last week, as well as the staples that everybody knows, Airyu and Kablaze. Those three are all terrifying players, especially. Gonna want to be watching out for all of them. On the other side, we have Iowa. We've got Revo, Mode, Lolzep, Gus, Leebs, and Quan Hitter. They are not quite as star-studded of a roster, but they just have a really solid kind of all-around lineup, and feels like a lot of their players can just play any of the maps in the pool and do very well on them. We'll be getting into warm-ups pretty shortly as well. This is, of course, the 2 seed versus the 18 seed. Ohio, certainly the favorite to win this one. But both of these teams, especially when you compare it to the other teams in the tournament, put up some incredible scores last round. You can see in the bracket here, Ohio did win their last match against Rhode Island. It was a clean sweep for them. And meanwhile, Iowa with a big 5-1 win over Colorado. And Colorado, by no means a bad team either. But not too much trouble for Iowa. I guess we can talk about the pool a little bit, of course, this week. We are going to have the same pool size as last week. But one thing to note is we have CS5 AR7 instead of CS10 AR7. So it's probably going to be a little bit nicer to play for some of these players. We also have some fairly bursty maps. Axion, going to be a more bursty Hard Rock Tune. Okay, it looks like we have our warm-up. Don't ask me whose warm-up this is, but it's pretty playable. I don't know that you really need sound for this warm-up. You can just like imagine it in your head. It's just a whole lot of seal noises. But I like the You're honestly probably better off with no audio on this map. Luckily for us, it's a pretty short warm-up. Can we also talk about how 23 accuracy on this map is kind of impressive? Usha on the easy for that one. Should just have one more warm-up to go here. Hades the Rise. This one is kind of a classic. Pretty much everybody should know this map. Have a Okay. So much for that. I'm just gonna let you guys enjoy this warm-up or suffer through it. And well, that's gonna be it for our second warm-up. And honestly, I think we can all go home after that one. I think we've seen quite enough of this match, and yeah. Uh, into picks and bans now. Let's actually talk about potential picks and bans for these two teams. Ohio was incredibly dominant on the free mod picks last week, getting number one overall, free mod 3, and I think number 5 overall on free mod 2. And they just look so good on it. Of course, you have, I think it was Kablaze on the hidden, Chopoi on the hard rock, and even an easy flashlight out of Usha. They're just so good on those free mods. And so definitely would like to see a free mod ban out of Iowa, who I don't think touched the free mods at all last week. We are going to see Ohio winning the role, opting for the second ban. Now there's a chance they also opt for an HR ban instead. But Ohio, not nearly as good on the hard rocks as on the free mods. Especially something like that free mod too, where you know Ohio has players that can take that easy flashlight mod combination, which is really terrifying. Ohio going to be picking first, actually. They just want to get their picks out of the way. They don't feel the need to see their opponent's picks first. Does mean that if it comes down to it, Iowa will have the last pick before tiebreaker. And HD1 ban, really interesting. I don't think either of these teams really touched the hidden pool in their last matches. Possibly just not feeling super comfortable on that one. I'm a little surprised they didn't opt to ban the No Mod 4 or the No Mod 5. Iowa did perform extremely well on both of those. Even the No Mod 3, maybe. I think all three of those are going to be things that Iowa looks to pick here. They are going to ban out the No Mod 5, which is really surprising. Going to be banning out that low AR map that they actually did quite well on last time around. Which was really interesting about the No Mod 5 last time around is both teams had similar scores, but when you look at Ohio's team scores, it was just a hard carry out of Air U. Whereas Iowa actually had some really balanced scores, and it looked like all around Their players are just overall more comfortable in that pitch. Wouldn't be surprised here to see something like a Nomad 4, even a Nomad 3 from Iowa. But it's currently Ohio's pick, and very expected pick out of them is going to be the free mod 2. And we haven't seen on Iowa on the free mods at all yet. And we're going to have to see if they can put together a roster for it. We know Ohio has an insanely stacked roster. The question becomes now for Ohio, do we see the easy flashlight? Identity is a very kind of bursty slash finger control map as well. It's honestly not that difficult in terms of easy reading. And so I wouldn't be surprised. I think this map is very playable on easy flashlight if you've taken the time to practice it. Are going to see Kablaze in, as usual, for the hidden. And we are going to see Usha, so I would imagine that's at least going to be an easy. And it looks like we're going to be getting Wonderland in for Hard Rock. Over to Poi. Switching things up here. I will say for Ohio that Easy is a very dangerous mod on these kinds of picks. Obviously because of the Easy multiplier, and the map only being 2 minutes. If you find a miss on the Easy, it cuts your score so much. Here we go into the first map. We're not going to be getting the flashlight this time around, but we are going to be getting an Easy on both teams. It's going to be Leaves on the Hard Rock mode. On the hidden now. Everybody nailing that first stream except for Zepp, who misses right at the end. And these streams should be pretty comfortable for all these players as long as they can aim it. It's only 150 BPM, but Zepp is really struggling on the easy. That's so detrimental to them. Easy is one of those mods. If you're going to take it, you can't really afford to break on it. Everybody else doing really well so far. And Kablaze finds a miss on the slow section. Pretty big combo down. Ushta drops as well, and it's 2 SCs to 1 for Iowa. They have the chance to take this back. It is only their easy SC to drop. Need to hold on to both these combos though. The score goes back over. Ohio does have the lead in the accuracy department, but they're going to need a miss out of Iowa now. Already 2/3 of the way through the map. All the pressure is on Wonderland. Oh, and it looks like Usha found a Boncho miss, so it's still holding on. Wonderland goes down though. Absolute disaster for Ohio. Mode and Leaves just looks so good. Question now is, can they hold to the end of this map? Because this map is so short. We can see the score flip back over in an instant with a double miss, but even Zepp has recovered after the struggle early on. And Wonderland finds another miss. Iowa is going to be taking the break point here. This team has no fear. They take what everybody would expect to be Ohio's best pick. They say, pick it for us. And we will take that point. Thank you very much. 1-0 for Ohio. Such a clean look from them. Is, of course, the easy multiplier from Usha, but should not be enough. And there you have it. Ohio going to be feeling pretty bad about this one. This was kind of Ohio's free pick for the match. It was just a couple of really unfortunate misses. Out of Kablaze on that slow section. If she had not found that miss, they could have taken that point. But it is only the first point. Just have to reset the mental, keep the picks going, and try and recover from that. Iowa has the next pick now. And I think if you're Iowa, you just want to put your best pick forward. Try and keep the momentum going after a breakpoint like that. Now, once a team like Ohio gets the lead, they are not the kind of team to give it up, and so Iowa is going to want to push this advantage as much as possible while they have it. Gonna be a DT3 pick now. Gonna be a little bit smaller circles here. CS5. So you're gonna have to watch out for any shakes. Only a minute and 36. They're just speedrunning this match at the start. It is going to be only 201 BPM as well, so I believe a little bit more kind of finger control intensive as opposed to pure speed. Such a nice song. Are going to be seeing Revo coming in, Taro as well. And perhaps we just see Gus in for this one. Possibly Mode on the side of Iowa. I do think either of those two could play the map. And potentially Airyu in for Ohio here. It's going to be Zep back in, actually. Interesting roster decision. Now, we haven't seen either of these teams play this kind of map yet, so hard to say what to expect from these players here. But it looks like we're going to see a very early accuracy drop out of Taro. Should be able to recover pretty quickly. Airyu and Zep going to trade misses at the start. And not going to matter too much, but that trade is going to favor Iowa. Airyu's score is worth a little bit more with that accuracy advantage. And as I say that, he does drop below Zep's accuracy. And this map is pretty slow to get into it, but the second half of this map is brutal, so that is where we're going to have to watch out for breaks. Eyes on Taro here, really struggling with accuracy, but as long as they can hold on to the combo, that is what matters at the end of the day. Possibly just comes down to an act battle, but Leaves finds a miss. Right before the break too, everybody knows. Pressure is on Wonderland and Taro now though. Zep and Airyu have both recovered. Revo cannot afford to miss at this point. Score flips back over, but Taro is going to find a miss to give it right back. And look at that score bar. It is anybody's game right now. Coming down to the last 5 seconds of the map, it is an accuracy battle. But Lulzep misses, and that is going to be the point for Ohio unless we see a choke right at the ending. And Ohio going to take the break point right back, and we have a match on our hands, 1-1 now. Teams going to be trading break points here. Ohio going to be feeling better about that one again, but so close. And at the end of the day, Airyu just held on over Zep a little bit longer. And that was more than enough. Close this one out. They do have the next pick as well. Obviously, cannot pick the free mods again. Could opt for something like another DT though. Possibly a DT1, which we saw Topoi have an incredible performance on last week. Apparently they can pick free mod again. And honestly, if you're Ohio, I feel like you go right back to the free mods. The last one didn't go well, but it was just really 1 or 2 unfortunate misses, probably nervous misses out of Kablaze and Wonderland, and I feel like when that happens, you have to go right back to your picks and say, we can still win these picks, we are still favored on the free mods. And you can't let it rock your confidence, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Going for that free mod 3. This is a little bit speedy. 240 BPM. Does add kind of an interesting challenge on the Hard Rock, where the streams do feel quite a bit faster on Hard Rock because of the AR, despite being only 240. Is of course going to be hidden favored. And it looks like we're going to be seeing Topoi in for the Hard Rock this time around. I'd imagine we're just going to be seeing Wonderland possibly on the no mod. But there's a chance we see hidden as well. This map doesn't really have too much rating, and because of that, hidden doesn't actually add too much difficulty. Are going to be seeing Mode coming in for Iowa for the first time this match. And they are going to be switching out Zep for Gus at the last second here. Just waiting for those players to ready up. And as we get into Fremont 3, can we see a team take their own point? Or will Iowa continue the trend of breakpoints so far in this match? And this is going to be an interesting one. If you can win this for Ohio, you can be pretty confident, probably be pretty confident about just going for that free mod 1 pick next. But if you lose this free mod as well, all of a sudden that potentially opens up Iowa to be the ones picking free mod 1. And pretty much as expected, nobody going to be overmodding on this pick. You see how fast it is. Revo and Mode both find early misses. Not going to matter too much. It is a fairly lengthy map. This map does become somewhat stamina intensive near the end just because of how long it is. And how consistent the bursts are throughout the map, you really do not get much of a break. Kablaze now finding the miss on the hit-in. The key is Topoi still holding the Hard Rock FC. That is going to be the full combo worth the most on their team. Mode and Revo recovering very nicely, not too far behind. Revo finds a miss right before the slow section. And that's going to give Ohio a big chance to start running away with this. Kablaze needs to recover though. And Revo really struggling with accuracy on the High Rock, to be fair, which is insanely difficult. But Topoi just getting the better of that Hard Rock 1v1 at the moment. Otherwise, everything is pretty even across the board. And here we go, into the next really tough section of the map. This is where you're going to want to watch out for misses. But it's Revo again finding the miss. You can't afford to break at this point. They're now going to need 2 misses at least out of Ohio, but it's Mode finding the next miss. Gus holding on, but it's not going to matter. And Rev running out of stamina, finding a second miss here. Absolute meltdown from Iowa towards the end of this map, and Ohio just looks so good. We do still have a quarter of the map to go. The score advantage is pretty big, but as long as Gus holds, Iowa is going to have a chance. We do have one last hard section here. And Wonderland finds a miss. Big combo down. It is the no-mod combo, though. They really need Topoi to drop or they don't stand a chance. And at this point, the score lead is just too big. I think they're out of time, and looks like Topoi going to be closing this one out with a really impressive Hard Rock FC. Kablaze as well has just recovered so nicely after that early miss. Going to be on the 99% accuracy Hidden FC. Finally, we are going to see a team taking their own point here as Ohio making it 2-1. And like I highlighted before the map, that's a pretty dominant victory for Ohio. They're probably going to feel pretty good about just going for a quick free mod 1 picks next time around. Whereas the picks for Iowa are not so clear. You could go back to the DTs, which were incredibly close. There is still something like the Nomad 4 for them as well. And I feel like Ohio has the HD2 pick in their back pocket as well. Obviously, Kablaze and Airyu, both very capable low AR players, especially considering Iowa banned out that low AR Nomad pick. And Iowa goes for the free mod 1 pick? I mean, that is honestly pretty shocking. I feel like, for the most part, these Fremont picks just feel very Ohio favored, but Iowa, this team has no fear. Instead of opting for something else, they're just going to try and go toe-to-toe with Ohio on these free mods. That being said, I do think this is a bit of a mispick from Iowa. Even if you feel good on the map, when it's a map that you know your opponent is probably feeling good on as well, I feel like a lot of the time it's better to just leave the map open and let your opponent pick it for you. And that way you essentially give yourself an extra pick. This is going to be the more aim-focused map. I can't imagine we're going to be seeing anyone going easy on this. It's a little bit brutal. I imagine we're just going to see the same mods all around. Kablaze hidden, Topoy Hard Rock. Airyu probably going to be taking the no mod on this one. And I do think we're just going to see Revo on the Hard Rock mode on the hidden. Zep, no mod as well. And the pressure is on Iowa for this one. Ohio have so much roster depth. It feels like they have so many potential pick options here. As Iowa needs to be a little bit more careful about their picks. And definitely going to be watching these Nomad players. On a pick like this, you really want to be able to hold that full combo, especially if you're on the Nomad, whereas potentially the Hard Rocks are a lot more likely to break here. Everybody going to hold on through that first section. It's just going to be an accuracy battle so far, but because of how short the map is, the score will flip so quickly at the first sign of a miss. But the map, honestly, not that difficult for these caliber of player. It's most likely just going to come down to one, maybe two misses. Are getting into the hard part at the end now. Extreme aim, going to be a little bit more intensive. Jump's going to get a little bit bigger. Nobody breaking on that section either. It's looking like potentially just an accuracy battle here. There is only a couple more hard parts to this map right at the end. And the accuracy lead is in Ohio's favor right now, but not by much. It's only about a 30k score lead. And Airyu breaks absolute disaster. The score's going to go back over so quickly. Everybody from Iowa holding on, and there's only 5 seconds left in the map. They're going to need at least 3 misses out of Iowa now. But it's only burst left, and nobody should be missing on these realistically. And it looks like Iowa is going to be taking the point over Ohio. They are not afraid, and they have no reason to be. You cannot afford to miss on the Nomad with picks like this. And it is unfortunately air you with just one slider break. That is all it takes. It is going to be 2-2 now, all tied up. And we have just ran through the free mod picks. We are going to see these teams having to diversify their picks. I definitely might have said out of Ottawa. You know, being from Ottawa, Iowa, it's a little bit similar. They're basically the same place. Ohio does have the next pick, of course. Going to be looking to take this one back in their favor. I do think if you're Ohio, you probably just go for an HD2 here. Even on HR, does seem Ohio favored. You probably don't need to pick any of the Nomas or DTs, but they're going to go for DT1. And to be fair, this is a map that Topoi top scored last time, #1 score in the entire tournament. So, eyes on Topoi to put up a good performance on this one. Are going to see Taro in as well. This is, of course, our AR10 DT pick. Still only round of 16, so we're not going to get the AR 10.3 quite yet. And Wonderland coming in to replace Seiryu. And it looks like we are just going to be seeing mostly the same up for Iowa, of course, with the exception of Leaves coming in here. And Leaves, I don't believe, has played since the first DT in this match. It's going to be a lot more consistency focused. This map is very easy to shit miss on, especially when you're getting towards the end. And this is another one of those maps where it's realistically going to come down to 1 or 2 misses, most likely, and even early misses are going to have an effect. And Zap, really struggling at the start, finds the early miss and also kills the accuracy. Falling far behind the rest of the lobby early on, is going to need to recover. Is doing so for now, possibly just not ready to start the map. We haven't got to the hard part yet. And it's going to be a pretty sizable lead for Ohio. The accuracy lead is just so dominant. 3-way at 99 FC. And the map doesn't really get super difficult until past the halfway point. And this is finally where we're going to have to watch out for misses. And it's Revo who finds the first miss. Wonderland is going to trade it back, and so does Taro. dropping the SS. It's only going to be Topoi and Leaves. Leaves now. Zepp is still there holding the combo. Zepp going to be doing their best to hold back Ohio. But Topoi is looking so good. Leaves finding another miss. So does Revo. Taro trading, but all the pressure is on Zepp. Quarter of the map to go. Zepp is going to have to FC if Io wants to win. Topoi finds the miss. This is Iowa's chance. Zepp just has to hold on, and the score is going to flip back over. There's so much score potential to be had there. But Reva needs to stop missing. Zepp not going to be able to do it on their own. Just so much needs to go right for Iowa towards the last quarter of this map. And the second Zepp misses, the map will be over, but it's Taro who finds the miss. That score is ever so slowly going back over, and I don't know if there's enough time. There is one last fast section. Zepp's score should skyrocket towards the end of the map. Look at the score bar. It goes over, but is it going to be enough? Any ending misses will change the outcome of the match. But everybody for Iowa holds on through the end, and it looks like they are going to be taking this pick. What a play out of Zepp. Early miss, but gets the 900K. Puts the team on their back, and getting the third point for Iowa is going to be another break point. And against all odds, Iowa now with the chance to bring us to match point on their own pick. And to be honest, at the start of this match, I don't think there are very many people who would have predicted Iowa to be leading at this point in the match. Ohio, of course, being the second seed, and Iowa showing that they are here to play. They're not going to drop easily. And I wonder if you just follow that up with the DT2 pick now. This is, of course, a very different map. A little bit faster. We have seen them do fairly well on some of these DTs. Ohio, of course, having a very good performance on the speed free mod as well, so that is pretty coin flip. Are going to be seeing a no mod 2. I do think it is about time that we start to see some no mod picks. First time anyone is touching the no mod pool, aside from that early ban, of course, and this is a kind of speedier no mod 2. It is going to be 200 BPM, 3 minutes long as well. But Dragon Force map, of course, they are very well known for just songs are so well made for stream maps. But this is definitely one of their less commonly known songs, I feel like. And it looks like we are probably going to be seeing Mode in for this one. I do wonder who Mode is going to be replacing on the side of Iowa. Possibly Revo. I imagine we're probably going to be seeing Ryu in as the last member for Ohio. And it is actually going to be being both Revo and Lieb. Subbing out now. Gus back in for this no mod 2 pick. And it's going to be Taro on the side of Ohio. Very interesting lineups from both teams here. And this is a very easy map to chain miss on. If you miss the start of the stream, realistically, you're just missing the whole stream. And at that point, your accuracy is just gone. And I would say this is possibly one of the harder maps in the pool. It is going to be just a very early accuracy lead for Ohio. Really not going to matter too much here. All the SSs have dropped, and it is just going to be a combo game for now. The beginning is mostly these kind of shorter bursts, and I don't imagine we really shouldn't be seeing any misses until we start getting into the longer streams. And there's the first miss out of Wonderland. I think that was on a Buzz Slider. It is such an awful feeling. And here we go into the bit of a longer stream section. And Lolzep gonna be missing on the aim pattern. Gonna give the advantage back to Ohio here. Score bar should stay pretty close for now because Zep is not too far behind Wonderland, but Gus finds a miss now. 2 FCs to 1 for Ohio. And that score bar is gonna get so far. It's gonna go so far to the side of Ohio. A lot of pressure on Mode, but Mode looks really comfortable. Still holding high at 99. Both Taro and Topoi look just as comfortable though. And at this point, even a miss from Wonderland would help, but it wouldn't be enough, and a double miss out of Zep and Gus. You can't afford to double miss at this point of the map. There's only a quarter to the go. And still the double FC out of Ohio. And we certainly see why Taro came in for this one. Look at the accuracy, 99.7. Gus finds another miss into the break, and I just don't think there's any coming back for Ohio, or Iowa. And Mode is trying so hard, but it's not going to be nearly enough. Taro finally dropping the accuracy. Wonderland finds the miss, but that is far too little, far too late. Topoi and Taro, the duo, going to be closing this one out. You know, you got Zep and Gus, the duo of on the other side, finding misses all over the place. It is going to be 3-3 now, all tied up. Iowa, of course, does have, or Ohio does have the next pick. This is going to be a 4th breakpoint. Really interesting. We have seen twice as many breakpoints so far as we have seen teams just taking their own picks. But Ohio does still have the HC2 pick. Now, of course, they're going to have to be very careful. This is Ohio's last pick, one way or the other. Iowa will be getting the next pick. And assuming each team wins one, we will be going to tiebreaker, of course. Both of these teams are going to need a breakpoint to avoid going to tiebreaker, but it's going to be the DT2 instead. This one is anyone's game. I will be back in about 30 seconds, momentarily, before the map starts. All right, looks like we do have the lineup sorted, and we should be getting into the map any second now. And Ohio just going to be... And both teams sticking with the same lineup, I guess. Slightly surprising that we're not going to be seeing Mode or Airyu on this one. We're not seeing leads either. Such an interesting lineup out of Iowa. Gus, we haven't really seen on these DTs. This is going to be a much faster DT, somewhat similar in speed to the Fremont 3 pick that Ohio dominated on. It is 10 BPM less, but you do have slightly longer streams here. And everybody looking pretty good so far. This one can be pretty stamina intensive as well, despite it being fairly short. There is kind of a lot more alternating between longer and shorter bursts, and that can drain your stamina quite a bit, especially with the doubles thrown in. And Iowa would love to take this break point. And Wonderland finds the first miss. That's going to be huge for Iowa. And look at the accuracies across the board. It seems Wonderland only won. Really struggling to act this map. And I say struggling, 97 is still really impressive accuracy. Just goes to show how good both of these teams are. Iowa does continue to hold on, but Gus does find the miss. That's going to give Ohio a window back into this match, but all of their players need to hold on. And look at Zepp. The accuracy is ridiculous right now. Only a quarter of the map to go, and this is still anyone's game. Gus is not that far behind Wonderland, and the accuracy from Gus is going to be keeping Iowa in the lead for now, but it's only about a 100k score difference, even less. We could see misses at the end. The end is really difficult. Everybody holding on. The nerves must be so strong right now. Zeb finally drops the SS, but still holds the combo, and that's what matters. And can Iowa close it out? They do on the spinner. They hold on, and that's going to be a huge break point for Iowa. They are on match point, and they have the next pick. This match is in their hands. And Ohio, against all odds, is now going to need a tiebreaker if they want to win this. And Iowa is going to be thinking about this pick so carefully. You know they don't want to play tiebreaker. And I feel like when you go into these matchups against these highest seeded teams, sometimes it's nice to feel like there's a chance to win. But when you go into these matches, you really aren't expecting to win most of the time, especially when it's the 2 seed. And so when you realize, oh hey, we can win this match, we just need to win tiebreaker, the nerves are just off the charts. Yeah, 22,000 score difference at the end. And on a map that close, it really just does come down to a few 100s here and there. And I want to highlight again, Zepp's accuracy was so key. It was something like 2 times 100. And it is going to be the No Mod 4 pick. Okay, this pick is something I have been expecting out of Iowa this whole match. They looked so good on No Mod 4 last round. Of course, this is a different No Mod 4, but we do know overall they tend to be fairly comfortable on tech. Ohio, though, certainly some incredible tech players as well, and this is the kind of map where you would expect to see Airyu, and you probably would expect to see Kablaze as well. Possibly Topoi in as the third player for them. And Zep Modem leaves. Iowa knows their roster right away. Zep has been playing so incredibly well all match long, looking to do it again, close this one out for Iowa. And, well, they want to do everything they can not to go to tiebreaker. Yeah, we can just start now, let Kablaze 1v3. And there's Airyu. As expected, Ohio has such a terrifying tech roster. Obviously, Kablaze and Airyu, world-class players here. You have to wonder about the mental too for Ohio. Having to go to tiebreaker against this team that you feel like you should be beating can also be really nerve-wracking, really tough on the mental. And it's gonna be Usha in, actually. Usha has not played many maps this tournament, and I wonder if this is gonna be a case of third player syndrome for Ohio. Maybe not really having a strong third player on the tech pick. We'll have to see how Usha does here. And here we go. No Mod 4. Potentially the last map of this match. Now, eyes on the combos as we get into the first chorus. And because the choruses are so hard on this map, you really cannot afford to miss on the slow sections at all. And here we go. This is where we're going to start to expect to see misses all over the place. And halfway through the map now, no misses whatsoever, and that means the first miss is going to be even more impactful, and it's going to be Airyu once again with that only miss so far. And this is into the slow section. This part of the map is a little bit easier, but Zap does trade it back right afterwards. And so the match is going to stay pretty even, but Iowa should be able to hold on to this slight lead. Leaves and Mode both hold on that slight zigzag pattern. Ohio is going to catch up, should bring the scoreboard back over, but it is anybody's game right now. Iowa desperately do not want to play tiebreaker. Accuracy so good on all the players on Ohio. Gonna give them the advantage for now. There is one more tough section at the end of this map. There's only about 10 seconds to go though, and it looks like Ohio is gonna be taking it unless we see an ending miss, which is entirely possible. And it's Kablaze who drops. The score goes over so quickly. And that is going to be it. Kablaze misses and David takes down Goliath. Ohio will be dropping to losers bracket. And against all odds, Iowa is moving on to the next round. They have to feel so good about themselves after that one. And they are going to be going up against potentially the 5 seed next round if the 5 seed wins. And Iowa, potentially a very scary team in this tournament. That was nearly a 3-way FC, only Zep with the 1 slider break. And just such an incredible performance out of them. I cannot state enough how well all of these players played, especially Zep, despite finding that miss on the last map here. Played so well, got so many points for their team. Man, I think this is a much better match than anyone could have possibly imagined. Now, that being said, our next match is going to be 23 UTC Sunday. It is going to be Rhode Island versus Colorado. It's going to be our losers bracket match 19 hours from now, so stay tuned for that. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Well played to both teams, and thank you, of course, this one guy for streaming today. I hope you guys all have a good one. Take care.